You are spending money every month on diuretic medications, anti-inflammatory tablets, water retention supplements, and joint swelling creams that cost $20, $30, $50. While something that costs $1 and has been used as medicine for 4,000 years has now been validated by modern clinical research to reduce joint swelling, eliminate excess water retention, lower the inflammatory markers that drive chronic tissue swelling, support kidney function for natural fluid clearance, and address the exact biological dysfunction that makes bloating, puffiness, and swollen joints such a persistent and miserable daily reality for people over 45. People over 45 are living with swollen ankles by evening, tight rings on their fingers in the morning, stiff and painful joints that feel worse in humid weather, and the constant heaviness of a body retaining fluid it cannot clear, while spending money on water pills that deplete potassium, worsen kidney function over time, and do nothing to address the inflammation driving the swelling in the first place. Fennel seeds address both simultaneously. Today, I am going to show you exactly how to use them. But first, hold this question. If a $1 seed can clear the swelling and fluid retention that medications have only been temporarily draining, what has your body actually been missing all this time? I am Dr. Christine Rodriguez, and this is Men's Vitality Hub. This channel exists to give seniors like you affordable, authentic knowledge about your health, so you can take care of yourself, manage every condition you face, and find the right guidance for your specific situation without spending more than you have to. Real biology, real solutions, no trends, no expensive products. Just honest science that puts your health back in your own hands. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why this video was made for your specific situation. 3 precise ways to use fennel seeds for joint swelling and water retention with exact steps and timing. 2 powerful additional benefits that matter deeply for people over 45. One surprising fact about fennel seeds that completely changes how you think about this common spice. And the science that explains why everything works. Every single section of this video matters for your joint and fluid health. Do not skip anything and do not do this halfway. Doing this correctly and completely is what produces the results. Half measures give half results. Stay for all of it. Now, I want to make sure you are watching the right video, because this is not a general wellness video. This is specifically for a certain kind of person. If your ankles and feet swell noticeably by the end of the day, if you look at them in the evening and they look different from how they looked in the morning, this video is for you. If your fingers feel tight and puffy when you wake up and your rings are difficult to put on in the morning, this video is for you. If your joints feel worse on humid days, after long periods of sitting, or after eating salty foods, the swelling and stiffness worsening with these triggers is a direct sign of the inflammatory fluid retention that fennel seeds address. If you feel a general puffiness and heaviness in your body that makes you feel bigger and more uncomfortable than you should, this video is for you. If you have been prescribed water pills, diuretics, and you are concerned about the potassium depletion and kidney stress they cause with long-term use, this video is especially for you. And if you have joint pain that comes with visible swelling rather than just stiffness, the swollen, warm, tender joint rather than simply the stiff one, this video was made for your specific situation. Here's the commitment I am making to you today. Follow the 3 methods I am going to give you with complete consistency for 7 days. Just 7 days. And here's what that week looks like. By day 1 or 2, faster than almost any protocol in this series, you will notice increased urination as fennel seeds' natural diuretic compounds begin promoting kidney fluid clearance without depleting electrolytes. By day 3 or 4, the ankle and finger puffiness that has been a daily reality begins visibly reducing. The combination of anti-inflammatory and diuretic activity is clearing the fluid that inflammation has been trapping in the tissue. By day 5 or 6, joint stiffness and the painful heaviness around swollen joints begin improving, as the synovial fluid inflammation driving the joint swelling reduces. By day 7, most people following this protocol completely report that their body feels lighter, their joints move more freely, and the visible puffiness they had stopped noticing because it had become so normal has meaningfully reduced. 7 days, starting tonight. One more thing before the methods. Right now, before the science, before the methods, make one decision. You are going to buy a packet of fennel seeds today, also called sweet fennel or Feniculum vulgare seeds, the small, pale green, oval seeds with a mild licorice aroma that you find in any spice market, any grocery store, any South Asian or Mediterranean food store. A large packet that will last you weeks costs $1 or less. You are going to use the first method tonight. One decision, $1. One action tonight. The people who feel the results within 48 hours are always the people who act on the first day. Understand this clearly before the methods. The swelling and water retention you are experiencing after 45 is driven by two simultaneous biological processes that medications address separately and inadequately. The first is chronic low-grade inflammation. Inflammatory cytokines increase vascular permeability, causing fluid to leak from blood vessels into surrounding tissue and accumulate as the swelling and puffiness you see and feel. The second is declining kidney filtration efficiency. After 45, the kidneys become less efficient at clearing excess sodium and fluid from the bloodstream, leading to the systemic fluid accumulation that produces the evening ankle swelling and morning puffiness. Diuretics address only the fluid clearance side, temporarily, without touching the inflammation that is the primary driver. Fennel seeds address both simultaneously through their anti-inflammatory anethol compounds and their natural diuretic activity that supports kidney clearance without electrolyte depletion. So let me show you exactly how to use fennel seeds, step by step, precise quantities, exact timing. Because preparation method and timing with fennel seeds determine whether their active compounds reach the kidney tubules and joint tissue at therapeutic concentrations or dissipate before reaching their target. The first method is fennel seed tea twice daily. This is the foundational method of the protocol, delivering fennel's anethol, fenchone, and potassium-rich natural compounds in the most rapidly bioavailable form, at the two windows when fluid retention and inflammation are most actively building in the body. Here is exactly how to prepare it. Take 1 full teaspoon of whole fennel seeds and place them in a small pot. Add 1.5 cups of water. Bring to a gentle boil and allow to boil for exactly 3 minutes. Not a brief steep, a full boil. Because fennel's active anti-inflammatory and diuretic compounds are heat-stable and extract more completely at boiling temperature than at steeping temperature. Remove from heat. Allow to cool for 2 minutes. Strain into a cup. Add 1 teaspoon of raw honey. Drink warm. Prepare and drink this tea twice daily. Once in the morning on an empty stomach 30 minutes before breakfast, and once in the early afternoon around 2 or 3 o'clock. The morning dose primes the kidneys and anti-inflammatory pathways for the day ahead. The early afternoon dose addresses the peak fluid accumulation window, because fluid retention in the legs and ankles builds progressively through the day and reaches its maximum by late afternoon, if not addressed at its midpoint. Do not drink the afternoon dose after 5 o'clock, because fennel's diuretic effect will produce nighttime urination that fragments your sleep if dosed too late in the day. Keep both doses within the morning to early afternoon window and your sleep will be completely undisturbed, while the full anti-inflammatory and fluid-clearing benefit is maintained throughout your waking hours. 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds boiled for 3 minutes, strained, honey added, morning and early afternoon, every day. The second method is fennel seed and lemon cold compress soak for swollen joints. This method delivers fennel's anti-inflammatory compounds directly to the swollen joint tissue through a topical application that bypasses the digestive system entirely and works through the skin and underlying tissue, making it the fastest-acting method for acute joint swelling, tender puffiness around a specific joint, or the visible ankle and foot swelling that builds through the day. Here is exactly how to prepare it. Take 2 full tablespoons of fennel seeds and place them in a small pot. Add 2 cups of water. Bring to a boil and boil for 5 minutes, a stronger extraction than the tea because this preparation is for external use where concentration matters more than palatability. Remove from heat and allow to cool to a comfortably warm, not hot, temperature. Squeeze in the juice of half a lemon. Soak a clean cloth or small towel in this warm fennel and lemon liquid. Wring out the excess until the cloth is damp but not dripping. Apply this warm compress directly to the swollen area, whether that is the ankle, the knee, the finger joints, or any joint with visible swelling and tenderness. Leave the compress in place for 15 to 20 minutes. Rewarm and reapply if the cloth cools before the 20 minutes is complete. Use this compress every evening on your most affected area of swelling, consistently as part of the nightly routine, not only when the swelling is severe. The anethol compounds in the warm fennel liquid penetrate the skin and reach the inflamed joint tissue directly, reducing prostaglandin production and vascular permeability in the joint lining. The lemon bioflavonoids complement the anti-inflammatory action and reduce acid accumulation in joint fluid. 2 tablespoons of fennel seeds boiled in 2 cups of water. Warm compress, 15 to 20 minutes, every evening on swollen areas. The third method is fennel seed and cucumber water throughout the day. This method maintains a continuous, low-level anti-inflammatory and kidney-supporting signal throughout the waking hours, preventing the progressive fluid accumulation that builds when no active anti-swelling intervention is in place between the morning and afternoon tea doses. It is also the simplest method, requiring almost no preparation time, and it addresses the inadequate hydration that worsens both inflammation and kidney fluid clearance in most people over 45, many of whom are chronically mildly dehydrated without realizing it. Here is exactly how to prepare it. Every morning, fill a large 1-liter water bottle or jug. Add 1 teaspoon of whole fennel seeds directly to the water. No boiling, no grinding, simply dropping them into the bottle. Slice half a cucumber and add the slices directly to the water. Add 5 to 6 fresh mint leaves if available. Mint's menthol compounds have complementary anti-inflammatory and kidney-supporting activity. Allow this mixture to sit for 30 minutes before drinking. Sip steadily throughout the day, finishing the full liter between breakfast and dinner. The continuous small doses of fennel compounds maintain a background level of anti-inflammatory and diuretic activity between the stronger tea doses. Cucumber adds potassium and silica, a mineral that supports connective tissue and joint lining health. Maintaining full hydration is itself one of the most effective strategies for reducing fluid retention. Chronic, mild dehydration triggers the body to retain more fluid as a protective response, and adequate hydration signals the kidneys to release it. 1 teaspoon fennel seeds, cucumber slices, mint leaves, 1 liter, sipped all day. Now, beyond joint swelling and water retention, because fennel seeds do 2 other deeply significant things for people over 45 that are worth knowing while you are already using them daily. The first additional benefit is significant digestive relief and gut health support. Fennel seeds have one of the longest and most thoroughly documented histories of use as a digestive remedy, and modern research has validated this use specifically. The anethol and fenchone compounds in fennel seeds relax the smooth muscle of the gastrointestinal tract, reducing the intestinal spasms that produce cramping and gas pain. They stimulate the production of digestive enzymes, improving the complete breakdown of food. And they have documented antimicrobial activity against the gas-producing bacteria that cause bloating and flatulence. Research published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology found that fennel seed extract significantly reduced the symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome, cramping, bloating, and irregular transit in a randomized, controlled trial. For people over 45 who experience both swelling and digestive discomfort, which is an extremely common combination because both are driven by the same inflammatory state, the digestive benefit of daily fennel seed use provides meaningful additional relief from the same $1 daily protocol. The second additional benefit is meaningful eye health protection and vision support. Fennel seeds contain significant concentrations of vitamin C, beta-carotene, and the flavonoid quercetin, all three of which have documented protective activity against oxidative damage to the lens and retinal tissue of the eye. After 45, the risk of cataracts and macular degeneration rises sharply as oxidative stress accumulates in the highly metabolically active eye tissue. Research has shown that regular consumption of quercetin-rich foods significantly reduces the rate of lens oxidation associated with cataract formation, and that vitamin C in the aqueous humor of the eye, maintained by adequate dietary vitamin C, is one of the primary defenses against macular damage. For people over 45 who have noticed their vision changing, who have been told they are at risk for cataracts, or who simply want to protect the eye health that becomes increasingly vulnerable after midlife, the antioxidant compounds in daily fennel seed use provide quiet but meaningful long-term protection with every cup of tea and every glass of infused water. And here's the one surprising fact about fennel seeds that is going to completely change how you think about this common spice, and why it has been sitting in your kitchen doing nothing while you spent money on diuretics. Most people think of fennel seeds purely as a breath freshener, the seeds chewed after meals in South Asian and Mediterranean households for generations. But fennel seeds contain potassium, at concentrations significantly higher than most recognized potassium-rich foods. A tablespoon of fennel seeds contains more potassium than a quarter of a banana. This matters because potassium is the primary mineral that counteracts sodium's water-retaining effect in the body. Every cell maintains a sodium-potassium pump, a protein that pumps sodium out and potassium in, maintaining the fluid balance that prevents tissue swelling. When potassium is inadequate relative to sodium, which describes the overwhelming majority of people over 45, this pump becomes less effective. Sodium accumulates in tissue, fluid follows, and swelling results. Prescription diuretics force fluid excretion, but further deplete potassium, worsening the imbalance over time. Fennel seeds naturally deliver potassium while supporting fluid clearance, working with the body's balance rather than against it. Sitting in your spice cabinet for $1 the entire time. Now let me explain exactly why joint swelling and water retention worsen so progressively after 45, and why fennel seeds address that process at its biological root. After 45, two simultaneous biological shifts drive the progressive worsening of swelling. First, the chronic, low-grade inflammatory state that rises with age increases prostaglandins and inflammatory cytokines, particularly PGE2 and interleukin-6, that directly increase vascular permeability. Permeable blood vessels leak fluid into surrounding tissue, accumulating as the edema producing visible swelling in ankles, fingers, and joints. Second, kidney filtration efficiency declines. The glomerular filtration rate reduces by approximately 1% per year after 40, making the kidneys progressively less efficient at clearing sodium and fluid from the bloodstream. Fennel seeds anethol, the primary bioactive compound, inhibits COX-2 enzyme activity and reduces prostaglandin production, decreasing the vascular permeability that allows fluid to leak into tissue. Their potassium content and natural diuretic compounds support kidney fluid clearance, promoting sodium excretion that draws retained fluid back into circulation. A study published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences documented that fennel extract significantly reduced edema formation and inflammatory markers, with the anethol fraction identified as the primary therapeutic component. A study in the Asian Pacific Journal of Tropical Medicine confirmed fennel's diuretic activity, with urine output increasing significantly within 4 hours of consumption compared to placebo. Remember the question from the beginning? If a $1 seed can clear the swelling and fluid retention that medications have only been temporarily draining, what has your body actually been missing all this time? The potassium correcting the sodium imbalance at the cellular level. The anethol reducing the vascular permeability, allowing fluid to leak into tissue. The kidney support allowing retained fluid to be cleared efficiently. $1. 3 methods. Both drivers of swelling addressed simultaneously. Starting tonight, here is what you learned today. Joint swelling and water retention after 45 are driven by inflammatory vascular permeability, declining kidney filtration efficiency, and the sodium-potassium imbalance that allows fluid to accumulate in tissue. Fennel seeds anethol reduces COX-2-driven vascular permeability and restores fluid balance simultaneously. Their potassium content rebuilds the cellular sodium-potassium pump that prevents fluid accumulation at the cellular level. Their natural diuretic compounds support kidney clearance without the electrolyte depletion that prescription diuretics cause. 3 methods deliver these effects at the 3 critical windows: morning and afternoon fennel tea for systemic anti-inflammatory and kidney support, evening warm compress applied directly to swollen joints for targeted topical relief, and all-day cucumber fennel-infused water for continuous background anti-inflammatory and hydration support throughout the entire day. 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds per tea dose. 2 tablespoons for the compress. 1 teaspoon in the daily infusion. 3 preparations. Every day without exception for 7 days and beyond. If this video gave you a real, practical, affordable solution for the swelling and fluid retention you have been managing expensively and inadequately, please hit that like button right now and subscribe to Men's Vitality Hub. Every week, honest science, practical protocols, affordable solutions for people who are serious about their health after 45. Tell me in the comments, where do you notice your swelling most? Ankles by evening? Fingers in the morning? Knees after sitting? Drop your honest answer below, because your experience might help another person over 45 in this community realize that the daily puffiness they have stopped noticing because it became so normal is a correctable inflammatory and fluid retention process with a $1 solution. Starting tonight. Thank you for watching. $1. 1 packet of fennel seeds. 3 methods that address both drivers of your swelling simultaneously for the first time. Instead of just temporarily draining the fluid while the inflammation that caused it continues unchecked. 7 days to feel what your body feels like when the fluid it has been quietly accumulating for years finally begins to clear properly. I will see you in the next one.